Very excited to be back at One Canberra this time round. Now, if you have seen some of our One Canberra videos before, the very first one that we did was a 3-bed standard model that was sold within 2 weeks when we launched the video home tour. And then of course we had that 3-bed dual key plus 4-bed dual key as well. So last week we actually launched the 3-bed compact model that was done by Adrian. And this time round, we're standing in a 1076 square feet, one of the largest 3-bedroom standard model, which is overlooking towards this direction, of course, the landed property view. There are only 2 stacks with the C7 layout that's overlooking towards this direction, having this landed enclave facing. So it's a pretty rare stack, and I'm going to bring you through the entire One Canberra layout plus site plan in case this is your first time looking at a One Canberra home tour with us. So let's go. Right, so whenever we go for an executive condominiums, there are 3 dates that you will need to understand. So of course the very first one will be the lease start date. So all executive condominiums in Singapore, they are of a 99-year leasehold nature. After 5 years it will be semi-privatized, and after 10 years it will be fully privatized for all foreigners to purchase. Right now this property has hit its 5 years MOP mark after TOP. The TOP date was in the year 2015. Right now Singaporeans plus PR, they are eligible to buy One Canberra. So a little bit about the locale at One Canberra. Now we are in this part which is between Yishun and Sembawang. If you were to look at this entire locale, is being armed with a main MRT station, which is the north-south line that brings you directly to Orchard and of course towards City Hall. There is something that is upcoming, which is the Canberra Plaza, which is going to be stipulated in the year 2022. It is also a new concept for the north residents because that's linked directly to Canberra MRT station. About One Canberra, there are a total of 665 units, 3-bedders made up of about 482 units in totality, and out of the 482 there are further segregations. So of course if you're looking for a 3-bedroom unit right here in the Canberra region, then I think it'll be easier for us to decipher for you what are all the different types of layouts that you will be looking at. So if we were to take out all the 3-bedders and lay them down, there are technically 9 different layouts between C1 to C9. For easy understanding, the C1 to C9 layout, they are basically for you to differentiate between a 3-bed compact model, which is a C1 to C4. Those are all below 1,000 square feet. And of course, C5 to C9, these are all the 3-bed standard model, and these are all above 1,000 square feet. Very easy for you to understand because the core differences between the compact and the standard model is just whether do they have 2 different balconies or do they have just 1 balcony being the compact model. And of course all compact models, they do not have the yard space. So if you need a yard space, then you can consider the 3-bed standard layout so that you don't have to really like dry your clothes at the balcony space. You can use the yard space that is nearer to the kitchen area. So if you're certain that you will definitely want to have a 3-bed standard layout with a yard space, then it's very important for you to differentiate what facing will be your core preference. So there are 4 different facings right here. So it's either that you face towards Yishun Avenue 7, or you face towards Canberra Drive, or you face within the pool area internally, or you face towards this beautiful landed facing. Now, when it comes to landed facing, and if we look at across the island, sometimes it's really difficult for a condominium land plot to be armed right beside a landed enclave with no road obstructions right in front of us. You're basically separated by Sungai Simpang Kiri right in front of us. But the beauty about having a landed enclave at your main facings is that landed properties, their plot ratio plus the height restriction is all fixed. So you are protected in the sense that your view is protected for the next many years to come, because all these landed properties that are basically 999 or freehold status, you will not have a high rise jutting out in front of you. And this view is something that we really want to focus upon, because if we look at the C5 to C9 kind of layout, there are some other core differences as well, because only C7 and C8 layout, they do not have a walk-in long foyer. And this is the area that we want to share with you. The very fact that the moment you come in, the foyer space is being pumped into the entire layout itself, meaning that if you do not need a long foyer walkway to put in your shoe cabinets and stuff like that, you're going to have a much larger living and dining space. Okay, so this is the portion that we're talking about. There's no long foyer. Very good for families that will want to have a much larger living and dining space. We love the fact that this is one huge rectangle. The moment you come in, a lot of space are usable. It gives it the benefit of this L corner. So what you have seen here is that our owners have utilized this L corner to be a nice space for their built-in storage. So this was all done by our owners when they first bought the place. And there are a lot of storage options right here at the top and bottom pantry space, including a space dedicated for their fridge over here, because they love to entertain a little bit more, so they just want the fridge to be of a more easy accessibility right here. Of course, the original fridge space has now been modified into a cooker, hood and hob area. If you want to remodify it, it's still doable. And because they've relocated the cooker towards this direction, there is now ample space on the kitchen top for you to utilize. And we love the fact that the 1076 square feet has this super long kitchen. In fact, it's one of the longest kitchen that we've seen in the One Canberra layout. So really fantastic if you love to do heavy cooking. You can just do it right here. There is a sliding door panel that has already been installed. Of course, there is some option for you if you want to hack down this wall a little bit. You can bring down this wall all the way to this portion. This portion will be a little bit tougher for you to hack down because that's the location of your DB box area. So the owners has actually utilized this space and built up this pantry cabinet for you to put in additional stuff. Not forgetting, you have your home shelter right here, which is pretty deep. There is a built-in Electrolux microwave oven right here. A lot of top hung cabinetry are still maintained very well. This is the linen area, which is the yard area space, and if you head out, this actually overlooks towards the main lap pool over here, so pretty good for a yard view. We love the fact that because of this modification, you can easily still install back your cooker hood right here. This one probably you can just remove and remodify it, put in like another secondary fridge right here. So if you do a lot of entertainment, two fridges are basically quite an option for you. If you were to look at how this is now being panned out, there's also like an additional area for your kids to do their homework right here, or maybe just as a common computer zone. So if you do not want to have this huge amount of storage right behind me, you can actually remod this area, put in an L corner dining bench that is built in, and then put in a nice longish table or maybe a nice squarish table so that you have a little bit more bandwidth in terms of a living room space. And right now, this space here is actually very comfortable. We love the fact that you can have this centerpiece for your dining space to have 6-seater right here in the middle. The living room space is decent. Right now, this is like a 3-seater overlooking towards the TV console space. So of course, you can put in a little bit of outdoor furniture right at the balcony itself. Now the C7 layout also gives you an additional balcony in your master room. Because the owners have kids, so they have pumped in all the invisible grills. So fantastic if you have young children, you don't have to spend a couple of 5 to 6 grand just to do up the invisible grills. Now outdoor blinds has also been done. So you can simply just roll down the blinds if it's a rainy day. This is the main view that you will see. Facing towards the landed also has certain permutations, but right across is actually this green patch. So you don't have a very close landed property owners that's overlooking towards your direction. Right now we're on like a mid-level kind of section, so I would say that the view is pretty nice. If you were to look towards that direction, that would be walking towards the Canberra MRT station. So from here, if you exit from the side gate, that brings you about probably 10 to 12 minutes walk if you walk alongside the condominium's direction right there. So in future, there'll be a couple of BTOs also located at that direction, and that'll be slightly easier for you to cut through towards the MRT station. Now in terms of locale, when we look at the entire development of what is going to happen in the north area, by year 2026, the north-south highway is going to be done. There's also going to be rejuvenation on Sembawang City. So basically the integrated development is already stipulated and planned. And of course, not forgetting, in the entire Canberra, Sembawang and Yishun region, Northpoint City is of course one of the main anchor in terms of the shopping needs for residents in the north area. So why don't we have a look at the bedrooms and then we'll chat more along the way. The newer layouts, they all have this walk-in foyer towards your bedrooms. That's a pretty standard layout with most of the new developments right here. Now, of course, the key rationale for this is because the developers want all the bedrooms to have this nice facing, which is very similar to what you see in your living area. So for One Canberra, the two common bedrooms are of similar size. They are both mirror images. It all comes with full height panel wardrobe, sliding panel, so that it doesn't have like an open door system that will jut out into this space. We love the fact that because it's full height, probably like this is your kids' room, your kids can also look down towards some of the nice greenery at the bottom. And because it's a quiet facing, I think it's very conducive for your kids to do their work in their bedrooms as well. Now this room is a fantastic illustration if you want to put in a queen bed, because that's the actual size that you'll get to feel when you come for a physical viewing with us. You can mount your TV over there. So similarly, you have two wardrobe system here and overlooking towards the landed enclave. Now the owners has also done ceiling fans for all the bedrooms, and what we noticed for the master is that master is done without wasted space. For example, there's no long walkway into the master. So the moment you come in, it's fully usable in terms of the size. You can fit in a king bed if you want. This is now a queen. And of course, the balcony with the roll down blinds. So having a C7 layout means that you have your own private balcony in your master room, and some of the different layouts basically have like a more longish balcony space that is elongated from the living towards one of the common room or two of the common room. So for C7, you have this split kind of balcony space. It's really an interplay on what kind of balcony layout you want to have if you're going for the C5 to C9 options for the 3-bed standard kind of config. This portion here, you still have a lot of room for you to play with. If you really want to have a larger wardrobe space, then you can forego one side table on this direction. Put an L shape. I think that would be great because you have 4 panels in totality. We also have some 3D rendering plans for you to see how you can actually reposition your master room for a different kind of look and feel. Of course, a very common layout will be to build like a mini walk-in wardrobe system. That also becomes like a little bit of a privacy screen for people that walk past your master room and not having to see your main queen bed. Of course, the common bathroom is located on the walkway. Standing shower is located right behind the door. So both bathrooms has its own ventilation window. Of course, the developers gave solid door for both bathroom system as well. Heater will be city gas, and of course, when you see a city gas model, it means that the main so-called heater system is actually located right towards your yard area, which is positioned together with your aircon latch as well. Maintenance fee, nicely done below $300 per month. Very good start for 3-bed. If you look at the site plan, I think it's very well done. The moment you drive into the guardhouse, there's a main drop-off point at the guardhouse area. If you want to drop off directly at the lift lobby, you have to do that at the basement lobby itself. And in terms of facilities, it's done very beautifully. There are a lot of water feature points, a lot of pool zones, and that includes 4 major zones that the developer has designed. So they separated it into a cascading estuary. That's mainly the dining pod, the wine pod, the clubhouse zone, and the viewing deck. There's this zone called the Riverside Heaven. That's where your deck is, plus fitness corner and reflection pool. And you have Serene Cove, which is where your tennis court is, children's playground, meditation lawn, and of course the main enchanted lagoon. And that's where all the pool facilities are, with the 50 meters pool cabanas, indoor gym, outdoor aqua gym, barbecue areas, and of course the jacuzzi and the main beach splash pool. And of course, there's going to be a lot more upcoming developments right here within District 27 in North Belt. People who love to live here, basically they want a mix of nature, plus they don't want to have too much hustling and bustling towards the town area. So I think North is an area that has so much more potential to come, because there's going to be like a new polyclinic at Khatib, plus the North-South corridor that we mentioned is going to cut your traveling time towards town area by more than 30 to 40% when it's up and ready. Last but not least, we have done up all the pricing comparison if you're looking for a 3-bedder, whether you're looking at Canberra region, you're looking at Yishun or Sembawang. We have done up in detailed fashion on what are some of the available 3-bedrooms right now, so that you can make a detailed choice. And when you come for a physical viewing, our listings manager are going to show you in detail what are some of the 3-bedrooms right now that are going for in One Canberra, and why we think this 1076 square feet is definitely one of the very good choice for a family to have. And do give our listings manager a call. The link is right down below, plus the direct link to contact them over WhatsApp for arrangement over physical viewing. And if you come by, we'd love to show you more. And once again, my name is Melvin Lim, PropertyLimBrothers. Always happy to show the place. Take care.